Hello and welcome to my channel. So for the past sort of few months, which is now winter time, well soon to be spring, I've been feeling a little bit low, I've just not been feeling it really, the days are really short, there is no light, it's always raining in here, and even though I've been in this country for 10 years, almost 10 years, it has been 10 years, yeah. So anyway, where I come from, I'm used to having nice white winters and the light reflects and we have sunny weather as well, and here it's just so gloomy and I feel like I'm a plant. I need light to survive, I need the sunlight and I need that vitamin D and I'm not getting it. So I have been feeling a little bit low, but one thing that brings me back, that sort of brings me out of this creative personal slump, is self-portraits. So when I do self-portraits, it just I do it for me. And that's one thing where I don't have to involve anybody and I don't have to plan it with anybody. So it's kind of like, do you know what? I really feel like I need to take some time today for myself. Instead of maybe meditating or reading a book, I will do some self-portraits because that's what works for me. And there are moments when I recognize when I get to this point in my life and I kind of start seeing it in my Lightroom catalog where I just, I don't have many pictures of myself anymore. I've not taken the time and the effort to just spend literally maybe like 10 minutes on myself and just do something purely for me. There is no job, there is no sort of anybody asking me to do it or anything. It's just for me. So to get back to self-portraits, feeling better for the spring, sort of looking forward to the future and just looking forward to waking up every day, I thought I'll get back to my self-portraits and I will also ask you questions on my Instagram story, which is what I did. And I just asked, are there any questions you would like to ask me? If maybe you're not really experienced in it or you want to try it, or you just have like some maybe technical questions regarding this. So here are the questions that you asked me. So the first question is, do you shoot more what you're seeing or what you're feeling? Now, this is a good question. For me, it is kind of 50-50. So for example, sometimes I'm in a house. I'm in a house most days, let's face it. And it could be just a sunlight hitting the wall, just in that one perfect spot. And I just see it. And I just have to grab my camera and just do it there and then. Because this is England, the light changes every 5 minutes, the weather changes all the time, so you just have to go with it. So that's kind of like when I see something, it could be the light, it could be, for example, sometimes I have fresh flowers in a house and I look at them and then suddenly I just got an idea for a shoot. Like it could be something really random and very simple as well. Or it could be if I'm traveling, maybe I'm staying in a hotel room and I'm like, this was kind of nice, I could use this for something. Or yeah, generally it's not when I'm sort of going out for street photography or walks or something like that. That's not when I generally shoot, but I would like to get back more to shooting outdoors. So that's my sort of goal for the spring and summertime. But yeah, the rest of the time it is mostly what I feel. I don't know what I feel, and doing these self-portraits kind of helps me process it a little bit. It could be just, like I said, I could just be feeling down a bit. I don't know what it is. It could be just amalgamation of things in my life. And just doing this one self-portrait for 5 minutes, it just kind of helps me compartmentalize my thoughts and just sorts my head out a little bit at least. So yeah, overall, it's kind of 50-50 for me. It's either I might be feeling a bit, yeah, and I just want to like cheer myself up a little bit, or it could be the other way around. It could be I'm feeling really, really beautiful today, or very confident. I really want to show in a picture, or maybe something more mysterious and erotic, or whatever. And the other times it's things I'm seeing. I'm seeing some compositions. It could be like I literally have a corner in this room. It just got white walls and nothing else. And I just saw a picture in the corner, just a square picture, just with my feet with the boots on. How? I have no idea. I don't remember why, but I just looked at that corner and thought, yeah, I could use that. Other times it could be little accessories as well, like I did a shoot with a feather. I did a shoot with my cat as well, so there's that. You could just be like Most of the time I don't plan it with my cat. He just sort of appears and I'm like, sure, I'm gonna pick you up and we're gonna do a shoot. Right, so next question. Based on your idea for the photo, how do you plan the scene light? Well, in this house, I generally get decent-ish light, no matter where the sun is. If it's in the morning, it looks nice, sort of kitchen area. That's fine, I can use that. If it's afternoon, it looks nice there here in the living room and upstairs in the bedroom, so I can use either. I don't use flash. I've used flash maybe, I did it once or twice, just sort of to give that, or maybe a few more times when it's been, after the sun has gone down. And I don't really like the generic light bulb light in the room. So I've used flash for that, just to sort of, to make it look like intentional and sort of a bit retro kind of flash, as opposed to using beauty dish and like a studio and making your skin look beautiful and all that. Like, I honestly have no time for that. But yeah, so when it comes to actually lighting the scene, I generally tend to shoot where the light falls. So obviously it could be by the window, could be by the wall. It could also be in a garden sometimes if it's not raining, that is. And outdoors, obviously, generally, you have light outdoors unless the sun has gone down. So you just use the biggest light source there is, the sun. Third question was, okay, it wasn't quite a question, just something saying, I'm sending you positive vibes. I checked out this person's account, never seen him in my life, and I think they're just wanting me to follow them, I guess. Anyway, fourth question. Do you have any help while producing? Do you have a studio or is normal room enough? No, I have no help whatsoever. The reason being, because it is so spontaneous, I can't expect somebody to be there at that time, because obviously my boyfriend's at work, my friends are working also, and for me, the self-portrait shoot is not something I plan. Maybe sometimes, but most of the times it's very much of the moment. So first of all, there is no time to get anybody to help me. Second of all, I would not feel comfortable sort of expressing myself as I do in self-portraits, to do that in front of other people. Even if it's like, somebody I'm really close with, I still find it's more relaxing for me to just put the music on and just sort of get in my head and just do my thing, basically. The one time I would recommend having somebody is when you're shooting outdoors. First of all, for security, safety reasons. If you're shooting somewhere like, I don't know, in the woods or in a field, they don't need to sort of be there watching you do whatever you do. But just knowing that there's a person there, even if your camera's on a tripod and this person is sat next to the tripod, maybe facing the other way, so you can just relax, and they could just be on their phone or whatever. And just to make sure that, first of all, the camera does not get stolen while you're shooting outside. And secondly, if anybody's approaching you, so you just feel maybe a little bit safer. So yeah, that's sort of the only time I would ask for help, but it's more like just having a person there more so than helping. So yeah. So the second part of this, do you have a studio or is normal room enough? Any room is enough, trust me. You can do so much in your house and you don't even realize it, because it's so easy to assume that, oh, I need this really lovely kitted out studio and it has like all these setup rooms and all that. Yes, it could be nice to book a studio, but book one that does not have like room setups and looking all fake and weird and glamorous kind of thing. But book something maybe not like a warehousey feel, but something that has like big window, lots of light, and just sort of space for you to do whatever you want to do, but not something that's very contrived and fake. Yeah. But yeah, mostly I shoot at home because I'm lazy. Secondly, I can't be bothered to pay for a studio. And thirdly, because again, it kind of goes with the lazy, I don't really plan these shoots so much in advance that I would need it to book a studio. if I had access to one, for example, if I transformed like a garage or something into a studio, yes, I would probably use that. But again, that would be at home. I wouldn't have to leave anywhere, and I could just, just start shooting in within 5 minutes of me sort of getting this inspiration. One way that I would like to do though is I would like to do sort of like a trip, just book a nice Airbnb. Again, nothing too contrived, just something quite basic and lots of lights, not many like patterns and colors and things, like more like wood, whites, greys, that kind of stuff. And just spend 12 hours in either one room or one apartment or house, and just see what I can create on the spot, on this location, sort of like a self-portrait marathon, I guess. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so I would like to do that. I did find one nice Airbnb. It was like a refurbished church, I think. I just had like nice windows, things, those nice, yeah. So that would be the only reason when I would book a studio. Other than that, I see no reason to book anything unless you live maybe, I don't know, student accommodation. There literally is nothing there, just like a box with a window, and that's it. But even then, you can still create some nice stuff, so don't give up yet. So next question, what did you start shooting self-portraits with? It was simply this. Well, not this particular phone, but I started with my Samsung Galaxy Note 4. It used to have a thing on the back, like a little leg, so it kind of like stands up. And I would put the camera in the, where it faces you, like a selfie mode, I guess. And that way, I just find making the compositions a little bit easier, so I can see where I stand, etc. And just use the timer and yeah, just go for it. So for me, it was so much so about the gear, because obviously I didn't know much about photography in general. So it was more like what's available to me and what can I use with what I have on me at the moment. And the image is printed out still. Let me show you. I still have some framed. I have 3 of them actually on the windowsill, and they look fine. Like, even though my film was so old, they still print fine, and the grain looks nice. And I did editing in Snapseed, which at the time was really basic, and it's still a free app available on the Android App Store. I'm not sure about iPhones. I'm guessing you can also use it. It's a free app, and it has loads of editing things on it. You can use curves. Like, it has really developed since I used the first time for these shots. So it's kind of like maybe a nice entry into editing and learn more about curves and all that to lead you more into Lightroom and Photoshop in the future. Next question, what to shoot if that doesn't sound silly? Face, body, whole body, part of body, etc. If you look at my self-portraits, I'm not saying that's what you should do, it's just how I identify with myself in my photography, I guess. So I like to do a lot of anonymous pictures. I don't think about it consciously, but the framing just, when I look at the pictures later on, the framing just tells me that that's what I really do. For example, this picture here, there we go. I cut my eyes off, I do that a lot. I cut my head off, I do that a lot as well. And to me, the eyes, although people say the eyes are, was it the mirror to your soul or whatever, to me, I sometimes feel like it is a bit too personal, and I don't really want to include that part of my body. I do a lot of, not like chopping my head off, but just like disguising myself a little bit as well, like this one. Although I didn't chop my head off, I still put my hand over my eyes, and yeah. And again, I didn't actually think about it, I just did it, and then I looked at pictures and I'm like, why can't I show my eyes? I don't know, just my thing. And generally, I don't do a lot of full body shots because, first of all, it needs space. I mean, I have space now in this house, but But generally, if it's full body, it's not like I'm stood up full body, do you know what I mean? It's more like I could be sat down or curled up, and or maybe lay down on the bed, that kind of stuff, or sat down as well. But generally it tends to be somewhere between here. Yeah. So cut my head off, cut my eyes off. Yeah, just sort of like a middle part of my body. There is no right or wrong. It's what feels right for you, and obviously taking into account your location and what you want to shoot and focus on. If it's outside in the nature, I would probably think more about more full body shots. But yeah, it's sort of location dependent for me, really. Going back to the chopping the head and eyes of the picture, I think it's also a little bit of, it doesn't matter who I am. It doesn't matter that this is me in the picture. I want who is looking at the picture to feel the mood or the theme of, whatever it is, without having to look at me and my face, but more like imagine either themselves in this scenario, or just focus, like I said, more on the atmosphere and what I'm trying to say with the picture, and less so, what kind of eye makeup I have, or, things like that. So obviously I don't really do beauty shots. There's nothing wrong with beauty shots, but to me, it doesn't say anything about me. And secondly, I can't do good makeup, so it would be completely pointless. It's not like I'm trying to show off my skills, because I don't really have any in that respect. And who knows, that might be the reason why I chop my eyes off, because I can't be bothered to do nice makeup on them. But even then, in these pictures I've shown you, that was after a shoot with, I can't remember who it was now, but they had a makeup artist, and she did really nice makeup for me, and I just kind of like the way my hair looked that day after they left, and so I thought I'll do some shooting in the hotel room. And even then I still managed to chop my eyes off. I don't know, it's just my thing, I guess. Okay, and the last question, which is a really good one, is where to get inspiration from. Well, okay, so this kind of goes back to the first question. So for me, the inspiration comes from what I feel and what I see. And what I see may not necessarily be on the same day. It could have been something I've seen before. Sorry, I thought it was a mailman coming. Yeah, so it could be either something I've seen online. It could be inspiration from a movie. It could be just having seen something outdoors that's made me think that will make a nice composition. I want to do that. Or even dreams. I know some people get inspired from dreams as well. Obviously you can't replicate that completely, but sort of take a little bit from it and incorporate that in your shoot. And there are times when I have zero inspiration. I really want to do something. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to take my camera, put it on my mini tripod, or just lean against the wall or whatever, and just create something that feels right. And okay, not all of this, is successful. A lot of it gets deleted, but maybe it doesn't matter, because it's that process of creating that makes you feel good, and it doesn't necessarily have to result in good images, I think. And again, what's good images? Who is to judge what is a good personal image that has been originally meant just for you? You may choose to share it, with your followers or whatever, or just you may choose to put in an exhibition, but it doesn't mean that people need to like it. So I always, when I shoot, I think this is for me. I really don't care what anybody else thinks. And, I feel free enough to be expressive and weird, because it's just me in the room. I don't have another photographer that staring at me or anything. So I feel so free to do literally anything I want. And if I don't like it, it'll get deleted. Obviously, if it's film, you can bin it, I guess. But point is, you're doing it for you, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be shown to anybody. Just the last thing, I've seen sometimes, especially men, question how can I do this? Like, I'm not a pretty girl standing in front of camera, but like, does it matter? Do you have to be a pretty girl? I don't focus on sort of making me look a certain way in my shoes. I might put some makeup on, but generally it's quite basic. Because like I said, first of all, I don't have good makeup skills, okay? Secondly, it is not about looking pretty. This is more about expressing how you feel and just shooting with your emotions in mind, and less so on what looks aesthetically pleasing or what sort of, you know, makes you look really pretty or have nice skin. Like, this is not about that. If you need to boost your ego that way, sure, feel free to do it. But those pictures are just gonna be really flat and just have no character, no soul, because all it's focused on is your beauty. And let's face it, people are beautiful in their way anyway. Like, you don't have to, you know, look like whatever celebrity to feel beautiful. And I think doing self-portraits can be really beneficial in sort of getting to know yourself and getting to understand your body language and, you know, how you express yourself through your body language. And if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to show your face. Like I said, I don't always show my face. And, you know, whether you're a guy or a girl, whether you're small, big, or whatever color you are, it doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, this is sort of a visual diary of, you know, who you were in terms of a person at that time in your life. Not so much how did my body look at that time in my life. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you need some sort of technical advice on how to actually shoot, like in terms of, do I use my camera, do I use my phone, do I use a tripod, do I not, do I use flash, blah blah, I have one video I did on sort of these more technical aspects of shooting yourself, and I shall link that below if you want to take a look. But other than that, yeah, like, there's no reason why you shouldn't do this. It doesn't matter how you look, just do it for yourself and use it as a therapeutic kind of way to get in touch with yourself, get in touch with your feelings, and just remind yourself why you do photography in the first place. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video. I'm not sure what I'm doing next just yet. I have a few ideas written down, so I'll be sure to catch up with them when I come back from Hungary. Just going there to do some street photography, some portraits, that kind of thing with my friend Jeff. And yeah, I'll be back first week of February, and hopefully that's around the time I'll start my next video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.